Welcome back to another episode of the Hunt, Fish, Live podcast. I am freshly home from a short trip down to northwest Indiana to the farm, deer hunting for a monster. And man, the weekend did not disappoint. Let's get into it. So I headed down Friday after work. I didn't have any full vacation days left, so I was out of the field until I was out of the farm until I could get out of work. So headed down after work, got out around 4 o'clock, packed up, got gas in the truck, and met Jeff down. Well, I guess I left a little before 4 because I got down right about when he was getting out of the woods. I got parked in our parking spot at the farm, and he was walking across the street from the woods. So he didn't see anything other than a doe. I think maybe a small buck. I don't remember. I unloaded and got settled in, and we headed out for dinner to watch the local high school football team play under the Friday night lights on TV. Though we didn't go because they were playing away, I guess. So. Yeah, called an early night and got up Saturday morning with all intentions to hit the woods. I was headed to one of my new favorite spots. It's actually Corey's stand that he kills all of his deer out of, and deer are very present in that part of the woods in the morning. So I was headed in. I got in before daylight. Got my camera gear set up, got my bow set up, got, comfortable and ready. It got light out probably 20 minutes after I got up in the tree and got settled in. So, got to sit in the dark for a little bit, it's always fun to watch the woods wake up. About 8 o'clock or so, I caught movement out of my right eye. So I turned my head to the right, and it was a buck. It started out about, 60 yards away from me. I think it was the same buck that I saw the week before on Saturday morning. So it looked big, and it got on the trail that goes right past that tree stand, and so full disclosure moment, I did get my camera gear set up, and I went to turn on the camera to film this deer coming in so I could get the shot on film. He meaning me, forgot to put the memory card back in the camera, and I didn't have a way to film. So I tucked the camera against a tree and called it good. I had a memory card back at the house, so I wasn't screwed for the entire day. Let's see. So this deer starts working down the trail. It's just me and my bow. I got turned around to an angle where I could get a good shot, draw, everything. He walked in, kept going on the trail, getting closer and closer to me. Corey shot his deer this year on the same trail. His deer stopped like 15 yards from the tree, and he shot it at very close range. So that's what I'm replaying in my head, is his story of what happened with his deer, and my heart's starting to race. It's beating out of my chest. Like, I'm getting excited, and I am getting ready to shoot this deer. He takes a few more steps, gets behind a tree, pauses for a second before he keeps going, and I thought to myself, and I said out loud quietly, holy shit, this is gonna happen. And my nerves calmed. I had my release on my string, and I was just waiting for this buck to give me a clear shot. Well, he got behind 2 trees like 10 yards in front of me, that crisscross, and I drew back, and as my cam rolled over, he must have heard that stop, and he jumped, turned to his left, which is my right, and looped out 30 yards, stopped for a second. I ranged him 30 yards, and I didn't have a clear shot just because of all the twigs and stuff in the way. He kept going out to 41 yards. That's where I ranged him at, and I thought about launching an arrow, but it's just a little too far. It was kind of windy, and I couldn't see everything in its way either, so I made the ethical decision to hold off and not pull the trigger and shoot that deer. He ran off, kept going down the hill. I'm not quite sure that he left the woods or not, but I sat down and just started shaking with adrenaline and excitement, and it took me a good 15 minutes to be able to even send a text message. My hands were shaking so bad. I haven't had that feeling in a very, very long time. And man, I'll tell you what, if you've never felt that, you've never lived, because that feeling right there, that adrenaline rush, is more than any drug or alcohol can do to you. Holy moly. Like, I could still get fired up about it. So I immediately texted Corey as soon as I could form a sentence or type a letter on my phone. And I was like, holy crap, you would not believe what happened. I didn't shoot an arrow, but holy shit, what a rush. And then so I told him the whole story, and it turns out we had a trail camera picture from him taken like a week ago, and it was definitely the same deer. Big tall 8. I'll put the picture up right here. Big tall 8, and it was one of the coolest moments of my hunting career. I cannot believe that I didn't get a shot off. But they're smart. They don't get big by being dumb. So what I think happened was he was on edge anyways. The wind must have swirled, and he heard because it was so... when the wind stopped, it was so quiet because it had just rained. It was dead silent in the woods. And so he must have heard my bow draw or something. I don't know. But what a rush. Holy crap. That was the closest that I've come to killing a big buck down there. I've had chances to shoot little ones, and I've passed them all just because I'm not looking for a 1.5-year-old basket racked buck to burn a tag on. Told my wife's story, told everyone's story, and they've been all geeked as I was. Corey was so pumped up he wanted to come drive 3 hours down and go kill it for me. So if that's not a friend, I don't know what is. So let's see. Yeah, my thought process, when I was thinking everything through and thinking the scenario through, I was like, where is this deer going to be when it pops out from behind the tree? And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to aim at this. I'm not going to be able to shoot at this thing using my sight because it's going to be so close. My sight only dials down to 20 yards. And this thing was not at 20 yards. So I was basically just going to have to aim. And I just kept picturing and hearing the sound that it was going to make as it punched through him in my head the whole time, that I realized it was getting closer. And I just had a feeling that the mega meats were going to do quite some damage, because they do. I think that's what made it even more exciting to me, was just that thought and everything. So I don't know. It was wild. I can't wait to get back down there. I didn't really see anything the rest of the weekend. I saw a couple does Saturday night, and I didn't see anything Sunday morning. I had a quick hunt Sunday morning because I had to get back home for family stuff. So I I only hunted for probably 2.5 hours Sunday morning. I would have loved to hunt longer, but I just had to get back. So I'm not sure when the next time I'll be hunting is. We got Thanksgiving coming up. I'm unable to hunt this weekend. I might take call in a day or something next week to go hunt the state land during the day around here during the week to avoid all the people. It's still firearm season up here in Michigan. And as a lot of you know, state land is crazy when it comes to guns and people. So I like to keep my distance. I probably won't hunt. If I don't do that, I probably won't hunt until after gun season down here, or up here. So not sure when the next trip is planned for Indiana, but we are going back. All my stuff's still down there for sleeping and all that stuff. So I have to go back at some point and clean out the house. Well, that's going to wrap up today's episode of the Hunt and Fish Live podcast. Man, what a ride this last weekend was. That encounter with that big buck at really close distance is one I'm still replaying in my head. I seriously can't stop thinking about it. Moments like that are why we drag ourselves out of bed at stupid early hours, why we sit through the cold, and why we put in the work, scout the sign, and study the wind, just to grind it out day after day. When a mature buck steps out into bow range like that, the whole world slows down. Your heart's pounding, and you're trying not to breathe too loud, and you're reminding yourself, don't screw this up. That's deer hunting at its finest. But, here's the thing. Whether you get a deer or not, encounters like that are the moments that keep us fired up for the next sit. I know I cannot wait to get back out in the woods, and I'm pumped to have that feeling again. The good news is, though, we're far from done. There's still a ton of time left in the season. The rut phases are shifting, weather fronts are coming in, and late rut is trickling. Food sources are changing as well by the day. This is when patterns start to tighten back up, the pressure starts to settle down from those gun hunters, and those bucks start slipping back into daylight in little windows if you're in the right place. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling like the season's slipping by, trust me, it's not. I've got friends that have written off hunting for the rest of the year, and it's only Thanksgiving. We have it a little over a month left. There's still a ton of time left in that season, so if you missed opportunities early, if you've had slow sits like I have, or if you're still waiting for that shooter to show up, don't stop. You got to keep grinding, get out there and hunt. This next stretch can be some of the best hunting of the year. Fresh sign showing up, and food's becoming king again. The woods are starting to talk if you're paying attention. You just, again, stay after it. I want to thank everyone who tuned in today, whether you're listening from the stand, driving to work, or hanging out in the garage, fletching arrows. I seriously appreciate everyone being a part of this community. This podcast has been about real stories, real hunters, and the lifestyle we all love. Getting outside, chasing critters, and learning from each sit. And just living to hunt, fish, and live. If you've enjoyed this episode, do me a favor, share it with a buddy, drop a comment, or send me a message about how you failed or were a success in the woods. I love hearing those stories, and who knows, you might even get featured on the show. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another episode. We've got more great content coming your way as the season rolls on. Gear talk, late rut stories, late season strategies, and maybe even a few surprise guests. I haven't worked myself up to that yet, but you never know. So keep your bow tuned, keep your rifle dialed, keep your thermals in mind, and most importantly, keep getting out there. Your moment might be one sunrise away. As my buddy Steve says, all you need is 30 seconds. All right, well, that's it for today. Stay safe, hunt smart, and enjoy every second in the woods. This is the Hunt, Fish, Live podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one.